Imagine discovering the life you should have had. The life that was stolen from you.
That is just absolutely beautiful.
Without your knowledge, without your consent, by your own mother.
Can you believe this happened to you?
No, I really can't.
Samantha Geldenhuys is on a journey to discover what might have been.
I don't know what to do because they're both on both sides. I'm not getting.
The 21-year-old Queenslander has only recently learned she was born here in Charleston, South Carolina, and that just about all she'd known to be true about her life was a lie.
And Savannah's they're in Australia, and it was just gives me goosebumps, I don't know.
Samantha discovered her mother wasn't who she thought she was, that her father was an American man named Harris Todd, and her name wasn't Samantha, it was Savanna.
It's like I've known you forever.
Yeah. I've never heard Harris Todd. I've never heard Savannah. I was asking these bizarre questions and, I couldn't fathom what was going on.
But most amazing of all, Sam has discovered that she was at the centre of an international mystery that had puzzled American authorities for 2 decades.
Oh, cute.
Her disappearance is clouded with intrigue.
Sam's mum, Alex, was actually Dorothy Lee Barnett, and she was her daughter's kidnapper.
Pretty, you're so pretty.
Mommy? She was unfortunately put in a position that she felt like she had to do what she did.
I still don't know how all of that really happened.
Samantha. Oh, nice glasses.
For all the years Sam was gone, her real father was in the United States doing all in his power to find out what happened to her.
I wrote to everybody. I wrote to the president.
To who?
I wrote to Bill Clinton.
Wondering how his baby daughter could vanish.
That's my baby girl. Yes, she is. Unfortunately, in the absence of knowledge, one's mind can conjure up all sorts of scenarios.
Dorothy Lee Barnett, Lee to her friends, was a flight attendant based out of Charleston, South Carolina. Patty Roth was her best friend.
Lee and I both wanted the same thing. We wanted marriage, we wanted children, we wanted animals, we wanted the picket fence.
It seemed like Lee was on track for all those things when in 1990 she began dating stockbroker Harris Todd III. They married after a whirlwind romance, but cracks soon began to show. Harris claims his wife was physically abusive and that he was afraid of her. They split before their first wedding anniversary. Lee was 2.5 months pregnant. She claims her husband didn't want her to have the baby.
Everything fell apart when she told him that she was pregnant. He wanted her to terminate the pregnancy, and that was just not an option for Lee, that she would not even think about that.
On the 6th of May 1993, Lee gave birth to a baby girl. They called her Savanna.
She doted on that baby. Everybody did. Just a beautiful, beautiful, happy-go-lucky baby. And Lee just lit up when she saw her. It was really a strong bond.
But Harris Todd believed that bond was unhealthy and claimed his ex-wife was mentally ill. He brought a custody case and won. He got sole custody. Lee was allowed to see her daughter only on weekends and only under supervision.
I don't know, when she came out and told me what they had said, I was dumbfounded. I was shocked.
Lee believed Savanna wasn't safe with Harris after she found bruising on her. And 2 weeks before her daughter's first birthday, in 1994, took action. On Sunday, April 24th, Lee Barnett was granted permission to take Savanna to a birthday party, but that night she failed to return. Police could find no trace of the mother, daughter or their vehicle. In the following days, family and friends received videotapes with a chilling message.
Savanna and I belong together, and nobody besides God has the right to destroy that. I promise and swear on my life that I will continue to take care of my daughter. I will keep her safe and will never allow anybody to harm her again.
Barnett had run away with her daughter.
I was shocked. I was hurt. It was so hard. When I found out, I lost my best friend. I lost my little baby, my little Savanna. It was really tough.
Patty's picket fence dream came true. She stayed in Charleston, married and had 3 daughters. But she never stopped wondering what became of her best friend.
But I knew that if I saw Lee again, it would not be a good situation.
Lee Barnett had used a forged California birth certificate to obtain a Texas driver's license, then used that to get a US passport. She was now Alex Canton. Savanna had become Samantha. They moved to Europe, then Asia, before settling in South Africa when Samantha was 18 months old. Why did your mum kidnap you and move to another country?
Because I do know at that point in time she must have feared for my life or something, because it would take something drastic for her to do such a big and serious thing.
Alex made a new life, marrying geologist John Geldenhuys. The couple had a son, Reese. Sam too grew up believing that John was her dad.
We were joint at the hip. But Mum would relate things, like you sleep like your dad, or, you look like your dad. So I've always grown up with that. But we were very, very similar. And if not in blood, that doesn't matter. It means, and personality-wise, we were almost identical.
The family moved to New Zealand and ended up in Queensland in 2004. By now, Sam was 11, still oblivious to the truth.
This is where she wanted to live the rest of her life. And she made it, evident. She bought a house, she got a brilliant job, she got us into school. She planned on growing old and living here.
But Sam's mother must always have known those plans could come unstuck. And they did on November 5th, 2013. The Australian Federal Police and the FBI arrived to arrest her. They allowed her to make one phone call to her daughter.
It's not like Mum to cry. I mean, she's a very strong woman. So I asked her and she said, look, long story short, we don't have very much time, but, I'm being arrested. And of course I went, oh my goodness, I'd never expect out of anyone in the world my mum would have done anything. So it was a brief conversation about how she was married previously in America and she conceived me with him, and then something became unsafe and she just took me and ran.
18 years of deceit had been brought undone by one slip of the tongue. Sam's mum was caught out by a family friend when she slipped up and called Samantha Savannah. That friend went online, discovered Sam's real identity on a missing persons website and turned them in.
Mommy?
Were you amazed that she was able to pull off what she did?
Actually, I wasn't surprised. I wasn't happy. I just was guilty. She's sitting there in prison because of me. And I had a very, very hard time to understand that.
You don't blame your mum at all for doing what she did, do you?
It's like I haven't walked in her footsteps. So I couldn't say personally that I would have done that same thing. I don't think she should be in prison, but I'm not the law. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a judge. But that's just personally because I need her.
In December, Sam Geldenhuys made her first trip back to Charleston, South Carolina, with her boyfriend Brad, to the city where she was born, the place where she would have grown up, to meet the friends she would have had. Patty Roth had always hoped this day would come.
Hey, how are you? Yeah.
Hannah and Ivy and Lainey.
Absolutely incredible. I'd been talking and messaging, but just to be in person just totally blew me away. And she instantly bonded with my girls. And that was special.
And I just remember getting the phone call. They found Lee. Savannah's they're in Australia, and it was just like, I don't know, it's like, gives me goosebumps, I don't know. It's like I've known you forever.
Yeah. Yep. And we're gonna have sleepovers soon.
Yes.
But the real purpose of Sam's trip is to see her mother, who was extradited back to Charleston in September. This is where Lee Barnett is being held in the lead up to trial. It's a medium security facility on the outskirts of Charleston, populated largely by men.
Hold up your IDs up against the glass for me so I can record you.
Visitors are kept a few rooms away from inmates, connected through the walls by video link.
Oh, there she is.
Hi. Good, thank you. Thank you so much for being a part of this. This is Rani. She's an interviewer with Channel 7.
Hey, and how are you doing here? I hear it's a little better than the previous jail you were in.
You're in here with about, you're in a giant room with up to 64 women.
Wow.
So that's kind of interesting. But no, it's fine. It's clean, and people are quite nice.
And you're doing okay. You've...
No, I'm doing fine, as long as I do. And she needs to start having fun.
Stop it. You know, we get emotional.
It must have been so difficult for you these past 20 years. I mean, you must have always feared this day would come.
Oh, no, it was, but we just lived a normal life. To be honest with you, we lived a totally normal life.
You must be so proud of Samantha and the way she has conducted herself throughout all of this.
Yeah, she's amazing. She's always, I've said since she was a tiny little girl, people would comment about how, what a good kid she was, and said, no, she's a good person.
So I love you, and I wish you were here, but we're going to make do with what we have, okay?
Okay, thank you very much. I love you, and thanks for taking care of my little girl.
Okay, love you.
Honey.
Bye.
Love you. Bye.
All right. She's sacrificed her entire life, her entire well-being, you know. For you? Yeah, for me.
In February, Lee appeared in court. She pleaded guilty. Sam gave evidence before the judge to beg for her mother's immediate release.
Do you remember anything that you said?
I remember saying that she gave me every opportunity and she's given me the most incredible life. And I'm, insinuated that I'm not a victim. And as you know, I would continue to do that.
Yeah.
I don't think it's fair to be calling myself the victim when she's sitting where she is.
Lee was not released. She was ordered to serve 21 months. In passing sentence, the judge said there were no winners in this case. He conceded that Lee Barnett was probably a fine mother and that her actions might well have been out of character, but said the crime was calculated and methodical and required harsh punishment. Sam tried to hide her disappointment. Did you think that she would be released possibly immediately?
No. Because you've been hearing 30 years, 20 years, 25 years for the past 15 months. It's great to know it's only 21 months.
Sam's father had also given evidence at the sentencing hearing via his lawyer. He told the court no punishment could make good the loss Harris had suffered.
We respect and appreciate the judge's attention in the sentence, and Harris looks very much forward to getting to know his daughter. She's a very eloquent, intelligent, impressive young woman.
How much has Harris suffered over these years?
I think that speaks for itself. The loss of a child.
Following the trial, Sam agreed to a secret meeting with her father, Harris Todd. He described it as wonderful.
How was it when you met your dad?
Yeah, it was good, you know. It was casual. It was really nice. So once, like I said in the courtroom, once I get my mother sorted, I have the opportunity to continue my life. And if he wants to be part of it, then he can.
She missed out on a life with her birth father, but for Sam, her real dad will always be John Geldenhuys. John died of cancer 1 week before her mother's arrest. He never revealed he wasn't her father.
Even on his, deathbed, he never breathed the word to anyone of anything. So I think it takes a very strong man to do what he's done.
How important was he to your life?
One of the most.
Now almost 22, Sam has a wonderful life in Townsville. She's been studying to become a nurse and working as a nanny for an adoring family.
Come, you've got another one to open. You haven't even opened them, honey.
Sometime in the future, there may be children of her own. And there's one thing Sam will ensure will underpin their lives: the truth.
You can't go and sit there and go, what if, or, what if Dad didn't die, or what if Mum didn't do this? Because if none of that happened, I wouldn't have met the people that I've met and be who I am. So I am very lucky, and I'm a lot more fortunate than the majority of the world, really.